Right, we'll start off with an opening statement with the coach and then open it up for questions.
Yes, certainly we're disappointed in our showing tonight. Obviously a short-lived ACC tournament, with this new format. Just felt like, from the first inning, Jay Wolfhook, they put pressure on us right away, and Jay Wolfhook wasn't himself. That was his first start all year that he's looked anything like that. And that's to BC's credit. They put pressure on him right away. They were tough with 2 strikes. He just couldn't get a ball past them, couldn't get him to swing and miss. And, just wasn't executing like he had all year. And certainly when you fall down 5-0, it's tough. And then giving up 2 more runs in the top of the second. But just really proud of our offensive ball club. We fought back. We got back to within 1 run. Henry Ford's big 3-run home run. We were within striking distance. Eric Becker certainly had a great night offensively, but we just couldn't hold him down. I think we probably gave up 6 or 7 stolen bases. We knew they were very aggressive on the bases, and we put ourselves in so many situations where, whether it was their hits or a walk hit by pitch, they're in the 8th inning to lead off with the hit by pitch, and then we didn't handle the bunt and manage the inning, and they were able to get 3 runs there, which was a huge point in the ball game. So, we did not play the game like we have played the last 4 weeks. And that's disappointing to these 2 guys, everybody in the program. So it is what it is.
Questions?
Yeah.
Oh, here, Greg. Take my mic.
Sorry. I'll start with the defense. The 5 errors tonight. How surprised are you with that? You guys have played pretty clean defense recently. How much did that play into the loss tonight?
Oh, it was significant. I mean, 5 errors is a lot. I think Jacob Ferentz had a couple of them. Chris Arroyo, the one that there was pretty big, and it was just uncharacteristic of us. We've been playing such really good defense, and that didn't show tonight. And Boston College has the kind of club that you can't give them extra outs, and put runners on by not being able to handle the ball, whether it be behind the plate or the infield. But these guys have done a great job in this back half of the season, playing great baseball, and it just didn't show up tonight. But the errors were certainly a big part of the game.
How much is Boston College's style of play forcing some of those mistakes and really pushing the running game and trying to create that pressure?
Well, that's part of it, and we knew that. We had played them the first weekend of the ACC season, and we knew they were very aggressive. We knew that they were gonna bunt at times to put pressure on you, and that bunt in the 8th inning was proved to be a big one that we didn't collect an out on it, and gave them multiple runners on and ultimately scored 3 runs. So certainly their style is they play the game with what they have, and they don't have a bunch of guys in their lineup with a ton of home runs, but they're going to peck your eyes out. They're going to take chances and run on the bases. Now, we threw a few guys out, but certainly their stolen bases played big in the game as well.
Eric, you guys have had some comebacks this season. What was kind of the mindset after you fell behind 5-0, 7-2, 9-4? What was the approach for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was pretty early in the game. So obviously there's been a few games this year where, we've had 4-run comebacks, 5-run comebacks, but just to continue to be ourselves, continue to play the way we've been playing. And we go out there at third base, and we just say to each other, stay calm, have fun. So we try and not really think about it like that.
Which obviously not the result you wanted, and now you guys kind of have to wait and find out what happens. Sure. What's the case that you can make if you were able to talk to the committee and kind of convince them of what you guys have done this year and why you deserve to be in the tournament?
Well, I don't think you should ever measure a team by 1 game. It's a long season, right? And so that said, this is 1 ball game, and in the sport of football, 1 game makes the world a difference. In the sport of baseball, it doesn't work that way, you know, this can happen to any team. So, you know, I think it's important to look at our, you know, overall resume, what we did in the back half of the year. And there isn't many teams that have done what we have done, you know, in the regular season to go 16-11 in ACC play. I don't care what other metrics you look at. We were a game and a half away from winning the league. And, you know, other than tonight, we've been one of the hottest teams out there. And so these young men have, you know, had their backs against the wall the last 4 or 5 weeks, and they stood up and certainly made a case. I think we got one heck of a ball club. I think we could, that wasn't reflected tonight, you know, but that's the sport of baseball. So my opinion about it is this, is 16-11 in the regular season, right? We can't do anything about that. A series on the road, there's a big RPI weekend was canceled. We can't do anything about that. If we are not selected for the NCAA tournament, my opinion is the committee is saying that we would have had to have won the league, that 16-11 isn't good enough, that we would have had to win 18-9 in ACC play in the regular season. Well, had we done that, we would have won the regular season title. So if we're not selected to the NCAA tournament, the committee is, my opinion, sending a message that we would have had to won the regular season in the ACC, right? I don't know the history past my time here in this league, but there's never been a team that's 5 games above 500 in the regular season and does not get into the NCAA tournament. You know, so unfortunately, if we don't get in, I think that sends a message to our league as a whole of what people think of this conference. So I believe they will think that it's one of the top 2 baseball conferences in this country, and the University of Virginia is very, very deserving to get into the tournament.
Yeah, Henry, did you guys view tonight as kind of a must win to solidify that resume as players, as a team?
I mean, I think we look at, you know, every game we play in the back half of the year as a must-win game. You know, that's how we treat every game, and you know, we talk about it's playoff baseball, and that's how we treat it. So I didn't think of it as any different. You know, that's how we've been going about it the whole back half of the season. So yeah, we didn't think of it any differently.
And for you, Eric, do you feel like you guys belong in the NCAA tournament?
I mean, absolutely. You know, being on the team, I feel like the back half of the year, you know, we've shown what we're capable of. You know, obviously not in the first half, but we've shown that we belong in the tournament in the back half.
Coach, even with the loss, how encouraging is it for you that you have an offensive ball club that will come back in both those late innings and at 2 a.m?
Well, our offensive ball club has been, you know, certainly the big trademark of this team. You know, there was a lot made of it before we started the season, how great of an offensive ball club that we can be. You know, the first part of the season, we didn't show that, and that happens to everybody in this sport. But you know, what our guys did through, you know, the back half of the year offensively, and we showed that tonight. You know, that you know, a lot of teams would roll over and get 10-run tonight, you know, and we came within striking distance of 1 run in the 7th inning. And that shows the character of these young men, that it matters to them. They're going to fight until the end. And we did that and just didn't cash up in on enough opportunities. But more importantly, we didn't execute and do what we needed to do defensively and on the pitching mound tonight. But certainly, you know, we have one of the top offenses in this league, and one of the top in the country, I believe, and they've earned that all year long.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.